Win a Pageant, episode 94. I know you dream of winning a pageant. You just need proper coaching. You're in the right place. Every Wednesday, I give you honest, step-by-step training to take you to the top. Let's win a pageant. Hey girl, welcome to the Win a Pageant podcast. I'm your coach, Alicia Darby. Pageantry, if you're performing at a high level, is no different than someone pursuing something like professional golf or Olympic ice skating. Anytime that you want to perform at a high level, you have to first commit to an initial investment. I mean, imagine ice skaters have to wake up so early in the morning and they're like training all day, golf equipment. Imagine buying your very first set of golf clubs. Like that couldn't be cheap, right? In pageantry, your investment includes your entry fee, your perfect wardrobe, coaching, and a host of other expenses. Your investment is the seed that you sow before you reap the harvest of a win. And when all this stuff adds up, it's very expensive. I did a 4-part series starting to episode 27 that talks in detail about how you can get sponsors. But there's another way to get financial support for your pageant, and that is fundraising. Now, in elementary school, you probably sold candy bars or wrapping paper at Christmas time, lollipops, things like that for various charities and fundraisers at your school. The most popular fundraiser, even still today, I would say, is the Girl Scout cookies. I love Thin Mints myself. You put them in the freezer and they are so amazing. Plus, it's cool to invest in something that's helping young girls to develop professional skills and to support that organization. So it's fun to buy Girl Scout cookies for that reason, right? Because you're supporting a good cause. Now, what's interesting is that when you think about fundraisers, it's a long jump to go from the candy bars to a American Heart Association gala, for example, okay? There are other ways to fundraise, ways that you can bring more and more profit in by sharing more and more value with the people that you are providing services or goods to. So that's what I'm going to teach you about in this episode. We're going to talk about changing your mindset from what you've known in the past that fundraising, you can't see, but I'm doing that in air quotes, fundraising technically is, and it isn't candy bars and bake sales. I want you to think so much bigger. I want you to think more valuable. Okay, so first, let's talk about why small thinking is actually harder than thinking big. So let's say that you want to raise $1,000 for your pageant. And that's not really that much in pageant land, so it's reasonable to assume that you can do this, okay? So if you buy candy bars, let's say for 50 cents, and then you sell them for $1, you make 50 cents for every sale. You'd have to sell like 2,000 candy bars to make your $1,000 goal, okay? Are you following me here? So have you ever seen 2,000 candy bars box upon box upon box? But that's like if every box has like 10, maybe 20. Imagine like 100 boxes of candy bars. That's absolutely crazy. I remember when I was in school selling candy bars, if somebody bought an entire box of like 10 of them, I'd be like, wow, I'm so rich. But seriously, I only actually made $5, right? So if you want to sell like that to the people who are serious about candy bars and sell them by the box, you have to find 200 buyers. Imagine that. Do you see what I'm saying? That how are you going to find 200 buyers that all want a box of candy bars? Like, this is hard work, okay? And it's not the best way to reach your fundraising goal, especially when you're trying to raise $1,000, okay? Now, fundraising is a lot like negotiating your salary at work. You get paid in direct proportion to the value in which you provide. So let's take candy bars again. They're sold everywhere for pretty cheap. And they don't solve any major problems. They don't offer a whole lot of value even, okay? People even feel bad after they eat them, okay? So therefore, your profit is pretty low. But if you provide something of truly great value, then people are going to be willing to invest in you because they're receiving that value from you, okay? So I'm going to give you a series of examples, but each of these examples probably won't apply to you, but you may be able to find some gold that kind of stirs up some inspiration in you as I go through each of these, okay? So let's say that you are an artist, like you love painting, especially canvas paintings, like that's your thing. Imagine if you could paint a beautiful canvas of someone's beloved little kitty cat or their puppy, okay? And you charge them more than $1. You could do that, right? Yes, of course you could. Have you ever heard of somebody doing that in your hometown? Does anybody in your hometown currently paint beautiful pictures of people's pets? Probably not. I've actually never heard of such a thing, okay? Now, that's not because, it's probably because there's not a very large market for it. However, if it's something that you could do for someone else, it could be extremely valuable. Everybody that I know that has a dog, they would love this. They don't need it every spring, they just one is plenty, but they would totally think it's the cat's meow. Did you get my little joke there? Okay, moving on. So let's imagine you do this canvas wall art thing. At TJ Maxx, you can buy a canvas wall art that's like a generic one that everybody has for maybe, 20, 30, 40, $50, okay? Custom artwork is usually commissioned by famous artists for thousands of dollars, depending on your talent, your turnaround time, the size of the painting, so how much resource really needs to go into it, and the elegance and grace of your delivery. You might actually be able to charge $100 for a custom canvas of someone's pet. And if you did that, you'd only need to paint 10 of them to reach your goal. Do you see what I mean here? You get paid in direct proportion to the value you provide. Now, let me give you another example. Let's say that you are a trained yoga teacher. You could host an hour-long Thursday night yoga class at your apartment complex or your YMCA or something like that, and just give peppermints out at the end for donation. You could just do it donation-based. And if you were truly excellent and provided insane value, you would have so many people coming and paying you big bucks, really. I once gave $50 at a donation yoga class when I first moved to Los Angeles because that woman was so good. Here's another example. Actually, my brother did this. My brother used to write rap songs. Impressive, right? So what he did was write and rap, actually perform lyrics about family members or friends of his. He would record it for them and then give it to them for their birthday. How awesome is that? And there were funny things about that unique to that individual, funny quirks they had and fun things about them. And he loved rhyming and writing. He was so good at it. He had all the equipment that he needed to record. And I kept telling him, you need to start a business out of this. I was like, this could be huge. Lots of people would want this, So imagine you have a skill where you can write, and even if you don't like to rhyme or you don't like to rap or something, sing a guitar song for somebody, okay? Those types of things provide so much value that people would be willing to pay more than $1 for that, okay? Before Uber existed, there was this guy at my college that he actually called himself Designated Dave. He was a designated driver, so you could call him anytime, day or night. He would be sober, and he would use his car to pick you up from the bar or wherever and drop you off where you needed to be. So imagine college kids living in 2 feet of snow most of the time. This is a very valuable service, okay? And at the time, not a lot of people were providing this. So maybe you could help a teen pick out her prom dress or redecorate people's homes or teach Spanish to the homeschool kids in your neighborhood. I'm sure parents would freaking love that. So here is your homework. This is the way that you do this. First step is I want you to actually make a list of the 10 things that you can do that bring massive value to others. And be creative, okay? Think about, the things that you do at school or work, but also think creative. What are the things that you just enjoy doing that you would do for fun anyway? Then, for each of these 10 things, I want you to consider 3 ways that you can apply it. The more, the merrier, okay? Don't rule anything out yet. This is all part of the brainstorming phase. Then, as you go through this process, it's likely something will jump out at you. But don't let the very first thing distract you. I really want you to go through all 10 because generally, in my experience, they do get better and better and better, okay? Once you have your aha moment, when it feels right, spend only 20 minutes. Time yourself if you have to create an outline of how you are going to pull this off, okay? What is the true flow? What are the resources you're going to need? What examples do you have to show your work? Where are you going to find your people who are going to be donating to you, your customers, if you will? And what are you going to do to actually over-deliver for them, okay? And then also think about all the things that are going to get in your way, okay? But don't overthink it. I don't want you to drive yourself crazy. This is where a lot of people get stuck. Please do not get stuck thinking of all of the reasons that are going to hold you back. Instead, when it feels right, just go for it. Because that, my dear, is how you win a pageant. Hey, we have so many great things unfolding this year for the Win a Pageant. In fact, our 100th episode is coming up next month. So I am preparing all kinds of special goodies to help celebrate. I would love for you to join in celebrating with me. I'll give you lots more announcements to share with you in the next coming weeks. But in the meantime, the pageant interview game plan is open for enrollment. It's $297, one-time flat fee, and it offers a step-by-step program to help you nail your pageant interview in just 4 weeks, okay? That's like a month. Plus, I provide individual coaching for all of the members of the game plan inside our private Facebook group. So if you are ready to take your pageant coaching to the next level, you can get all the details on that and other programs at winapageant.com. I will see you on the next Win a Pageant Wednesday. Hey there, I'm Alicia Darby, and I just want to say thank you so much for watching that last video. If you totally loved it and got something from it, would you just click subscribe right here to subscribe to our YouTube channel? Hey, I am here for you, and I've got so many more trainings and videos for you. In fact, this one would be a really great one to watch next. Or if that topic doesn't interest you, then try this one. It's my most recent video training. So I think both of these would be really great for you. Thank you again so much for subscribing. I am honored to be your coach. I'll see you again soon.